This is Ugo. Hey everyone, from beautiful and sunny Chicago. And I'm here with my friend Steve Simon.
Yes, and it's so good to be here with you. I don't have this opportunity very often, so we wanted to take advantage of us being in the same place and let you know what's coming up with us.
So we've got this workshop coming up that we decided to organize together. It's going to be in Milan next spring. The dates are April 20 to 25.
Yes.
First of all, I would like to say that I'm really excited to be able to do this with Steve, whose work I've admired for a long time. He's a really great street photographer and overall photographer.
Right back at you.
Thank you.
Continue.
Thank you very much. So are you excited about coming to Milan next year?
Very much so. You know, I've been to Italy a couple of times, and as a photographer in general, wherever I go, I'm going to find interest and exciting images. But Italy in particular, and particularly Milan, my experience there, I do like photographing in big cities, and Milan, I think, just from my past experience, even though I was only there for like a day and I didn't really get to serious shoot, I'm very excited of concentrating and immersing ourselves for that time for the workshop. It's going to be great.
So I would like to give you some practical information about the workshop. As I said, it's going to be April 2019, and it's going to be from the 20th to the 25th.
Yes.
And we're going to be in the center of Milan, the capital, in Italy's capital of industry, finance, and especially fashion. So you will see a lot of very fashionable people walking the streets of Milan.
Yes, we're going to have to dress up to blend in, I think.
Yeah.
As street shooters, you want to blend in with the crowd, but it's a fashionable crowd, so we're going to have to be fashionable.
You need to have an Armani jacket. No,
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. And Milan, of course, is my home turf, so I'll be able to show you some of my favorite locations, especially the hotel we're staying at. It's a very nice hotel in the heart of one of Milan's nightlife hubs, where a lot happens in the street during all times of the day and the night.
Yeah, and I love, of course, shooting at all times, but the night in particular, because I know from past experience in major cities, it's a whole different rhythm, it's a whole different sort of set of photo opportunities that I'm looking forward to take advantage of, especially in Milan, shooting some night stuff with the group.
A great thing is also that we'll be staying, where we'll be staying is within walking distance of most of the Milan's monuments and attractions, including the Last Supper, which is maybe 10 minutes walk away, the Duomo, the Galleria, the La Scala Theater, and so on, all those great places.
And that's by design. I mean, we wanted to be in a place where there was just walk out the door and we have instant photo opportunity. And, the fact is we'll have a fairly detailed itinerary, but in the sort of off free time, people are free to just go out and they're going to explore on their own and get some great stuff. So.
Absolutely. So, Steve, what kind of photography do you think that our guests will be able to experience while we're there?
Well, I mean, I'm excited about all kinds of photography, but sort of the street is where I feel most at home. It's arguably, though, one of the most challenging and difficult areas of photography. So, even if you're not so much a street shooter, you will be by the end of the week, because we're going to immerse you in these crazy, chaotic situations and give you our best techniques to be able to make sense of the chaos and organize the chaos in a way that we could, pull some strong pictures from it. Part of it is technical, but most of it is beyond that. And of course, the technical is very important to be able to react really quickly, because these moments that happen on the street, I look at it as kind of a theater. You have to be quick to react. So we want to make sure right from the outset that everyone has their sort of technical questions under control, so that we can get out there and just sort of get people, seeing what they see that's personal to them, and capturing some of the amazing things we're going to see in Milan and in Italy.
Well, I mean, we're also going to go beyond the technical, right? We're going to vision, developing a cohesive portfolio, creating stories on the street. And
absolutely. Like the technical is really the easiest thing to fix, but there's no shortcuts around it. We have to sort of nip that in the bud, and then there's the million other things that we need to look at in order to sort of make our photography stronger, get to the next step. I'm a big fan of creating a set of pictures from our experience in Milan. Maybe looking for a theme. It could be a very general umbrella, or it could be something very specific. But whatever it is, we want it to be personal. So we're going to be working with everyone to sort of tap into their personal vision and their kind of, what they see and experience, and how they can communicate that visually when they're on the streets in Milan with us.
Yeah, great. I'm sure it's going to be great. And of course, I'm Italian, so we love our food, and we're going to want you to experience the same joy that we get when you eat real Italian food. So part of the experience is also going to some of really nice, typical Italian and Milanese restaurants where you'll be served some of the specialities that have made Italy famous.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to that. I mean, we'll all be Italian during that week.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think people will know that I'm not Italian?
No, I will teach you some words of Italian.
Thank
you can
you.
say buongiorno, you can say grazie, and
Exactly.
you'll pass for
Actually,
a perfect Italian.
you know, as you know, knowing a few local words can make a huge difference when we meet strangers. If there's some characters on the street that we meet that we want to pull aside and create a portfolio of some of the characters and people that we see on the streets of Milan, and we'll talk about that, approaching strangers. We really want people to sort of experiment and get out of their comfort zone, because that's where you really learn and grow.
Yeah. So Steve, who do you think is this workshop for? Who should come to this workshop? What's the kind of skills they need to have? Do they have any particular attitude or?
Yeah, I think the attitude is most important. You know, the skill level is less so. I mean, this could be for advanced photographers because the group is small, and we'll be able to individualize and help people along the way, especially since there are two of us there. I think the critique sessions often in my workshops, and I know the workshops that you do, can be some of the most beneficial times in terms of learning. And it's not just the critiques of photographers' own work, but it's the critiques of other people's work, because we get to see other people and how they approach sort of similar scenes. And you know, the dirty little secret that we know is that we're going to be learning a lot from it too, because I'm always learning from workshops, just seeing the different visions that people have, and just kind of saying, I never really thought of that. I'm going to steal a little bit of that, and somehow incorporate it into my own vision and make it my own. So, I mean, if you're advanced, we're going to sort of push you along that route. If you're new to it, it doesn't really matter. You just have the passion to want to get out there and express yourself visually in the place that we're going to be.
And of course, the main topic of the workshop is going to be street photography. The focus is going to be street photography, but we're also going to do urban exploration. We'll also be able to do architecture if we want, because I mean, Milan has some great examples both of ancient and modern architecture as well. Has developed a lot of these kind of buildings in recent years. Also be able maybe to do some landscape photography, because we've decided to include in the tour, in the workshop, a day trip to Lake Como and the city of Bellagio, which
Isn't that where George Clooney lives part of the time?
George Clooney lives part of the time in nearby. That it's on Lake Como. It's not
Are
in
we going to be
Bellagio,
staying with him at all? Or?
I don't know. We have to ask his wife.
Okay.
If
All
she's
right.
agreed, she agrees
That
with
would be
that.
nice. Okay. So
But,
yeah, there'll be all kinds of opportunities. And you know what? I mean, in terms of label, yeah, street photography. But in the end, I mean, I'm not so much a fan of labels, because I think ultimately the image is going to communicate something to the viewer, hopefully evoke a response, tell a story, and it honestly doesn't really matter whatever you want to call it. And everybody's got their own ideas about what they want to do, and we want to really encourage their own personal vision, because in my experience, when you tap into that, it's going to separate you from everybody else. I mean, sure, you want to get some postcard images from the place that you're at, but that's just the beginning. We really want to, you know, scratch the surface and go deeper and see what we can come up with. And hopefully everybody is going to sort of elevate from where they came in and where they leave. And a lot of what they're going to learn this week will percolate and show up further from the workshop, you know, because that's what it's all about. We're going to encourage people to experiment, try new things, and hopefully there'll be things that they're going to incorporate into their future work.